I think, is that recording? Yes. Hello and welcome to One Life Wing It.
And Portugal.
My name's Mark Whiteley and this is
Foxy Wharton.
Foxy Wharton. We haven't done this for ages, have we? We're just saying that. We haven't done it for ages. If you're a bit of a fan, of which there'll probably be about 4 of you.
And they'll be family.
They will be family. And they're probably dead now. Shouldn't say that really, should we? We did a podcast. This is the what's the word I'm looking for? The reinvention of our podcast, because we were listening to it during lockdown, and we went, "This is actually all right. We were actually quite funny." And then we turned up here, and you found out that we're actually not
we're
that
not funny at all.
But we thought we'd have a chat with you, and because of the advent of YouTube, it's only been around for 10 or 15 years. We decided that we'd get in on the action. And
better late than never.
So we're obviously sat in your living room now, watching you from afar, far, far. So, but what we want to talk about today is travel.
Harry did the DJ Toms, the perfect combination, no confusion. Yo, put your hands up, put your hands up, put your hands up, put your hands up. Respect to the man, Seaman.
Our love of travel.
Yeah, we went round the houses and said about this, about that, about the other, and then we went, well, we are travelling.
This dominates our life more than anything, really, doesn't it?
Well, it has done until about now when it stopped us. But that aside, we decided we don't want to talk about that. You don't want to talk about that. No one wants to talk about that. So let's talk about how we started travelling.
Well, for me, it began in 2015. You might know, you might not know. I know, when we were renting in Bury, we were kind of between houses. We were between houses. We were about to buy, but we were renting. So I don't know how much you know about Hargrave Theatre, but we tend to do a Christmas show, or did until the pandemic.
Things happened.
So we were busy over Christmas, and then we tend to go away in January when it's horrid in the UK and go and find some sun. So it was something like...
The plan was we had a Peugeot partner, didn't we?
Oh, yeah.
And so we're in the middle of winter in the northwest of England, freezing cold, and we decided to get some... We'd done it in the summer before, hadn't we? We spent a couple of nights.
We did.
We didn't sleep in the van, but we
ate out of it.
We went to France, didn't we?
Yes.
We went to France, and it was a lovely little van, and we had a little cooker in there and everything, and we got up in the morning in a... what are they called? Not RE, are they?
No, it was just a meadow.
They're called a gîte, aren't they? They're called a gîte. So we spent the night in a gîte, and then we'd wake up the next morning, and then we'd go to some little field or somewhere nice, and then we'd make our breakfast and a cup of coffee. And we went, oh, this is really nice. Obviously, that was August in France. Cut to 2015,
I've forgotten we were planning on driving.
Yeah.
It actually just slipped into 2016. So it was early January in Bury, in Lancashire, Greater Manchester now, in the north of England. Dark, dreary. We're in Oldie. It was about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it was pitch black. It was just dark.
And we were there. We were queuing, buying something or other, and we had probably like 5 days before we decided to give up this house. And go and live in a Peugeot partner.
Just said, we're paying £750 a month in a house that is very temporary arrangement in the north of England. What are we doing? Why don't we just rent somewhere really nice in the sun? So that's what we did.
So it literally, in that queue, I think it was one of the others said, why don't we just go to the Canaries for a month? We picked our phone up, went, and there was a flight for, 2 and 6, because it was just after Christmas, and accommodation we got a month's accommodation, I think. I think the first one was like in a little hotel-y type thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was a reception area.
So I think it was £1,000 for a month, self-catering, in a nice 1-bedroom department in Lanzarote. And the flights were really cheap.
Lovely pool.
And we went. We packed up the house. We gave the keys back to the vendors. We don't want to say anything about the people that we rented that house off, do we? Because it'll just be swear words. And we left. We just went, didn't we? We just went.
Put all our furniture in the lockup.
We gave Kit. Here's a picture of Kit, our trusty dog. We gave Kit to some a lady, wasn't it? She said, "I'll look after him for a month."
Yeah. They had a dog. They had a border collie as well, didn't they?
And away we went. And that got us into this world of Airbnb. Really, we'd done Airbnb before, but we'd never thought about it in a long-term situation. So going to Lanzarote, which is not like, we're not talking Africa or deepest, darkest travel world.
Not travelling, really.
Not travelling. But we got there and we found out things like you can rent cars really cheap. Sorry for all the background noises. The gardener's obviously doesn't know it's lunchtime in Portugal today, and he's decided to cut everything down. No, we got there and it was perfect, really. It was, apart from it was the year that David Bowie died.
No, that was the first morning that we woke up. Do you remember? We didn't have Wi-Fi. We had to wait until reception opened at 9 o'clock. So you got up first, as you always do, and you were on your telephone, and you said to me, "I think David Bowie's dead." And I said, "Don't be stupid. Is he heck? He won't be dead. Is he heck?" And then we were just a big weep fest all day. It was horrific, wasn't it? We got Wi-Fi, and we were just So yes, that was the beginning of 2016 for us, wasn't it?
And that was it, though. That trip opened our eyes to what you could do.
Yeah.
I mean, we spent. I mean, it was just a holiday for a month, really.
Yeah, of course.
Essentially. It was. And then we got back to the UK and we had nowhere to live. That was every single day we were counting down, having to. Well, we got to go back to the UK. We got to go back to the UK. We didn't have a house. Didn't have anything. I mean, it sounds worse than it is. We do have parents.
Yeah, we have friends and family. Yeah, so it's not that bad.
So we're never gonna be without.
Yeah.
But I put something on Facebook. This is tip number one for getting somewhere to live, is using social media, which is really good. And I put something on Facebook, and my friend Sue, who's a theatre teacher in Chesterfield, saw it and said, "I've got a house and it's stood empty for 2 years and it would love a bit of love in the middle of January, February in Burnley." And that was it. And we came straight back and moved straight into this. It was really dusty, wasn't it, and really cold.
Yeah, but Sue's furniture was all in there. The kitchen was fully equipped, so we didn't have to mess about going to the lockup really and getting our things out. We just carried on with the clothes that we had, and we were all right, weren't we? Looking for houses, which we eventually bought. And August, I think we moved in, didn't we? So we had 6 months in Sue's house. Thank you, Sue.
Thank you, Sue. But this got us thinking. This. Ad hoc travel, really, and the fact that we didn't have to travel when most people had to travel. We didn't have to travel in summer holidays or anything like that, and then we started thinking, why do people go to hot countries in the middle of when it's nice and warm in the UK? I mean, August.
The time when the UK is actually it's all right.
So why would you pack up and go to another country that's just a bit hotter? I know you can see. I know. There's got lots of people on there going, "Yeah, but you can't sit on a beach in Scunthorpe on a Wednesday afternoon, can you?" No, you can't. But why don't you wait and then go in October? Because you can still sit on the beach in Tenerife or wherever you want to go, but you're not paying premium prices, are you? So that's started us on this trip, really.
And then January sort of became our thing. I suppose the biggest trip was when we got married in America. So that was the year after, in 2017. We decided to. I'm
going to shoot this bloke in a minute. This is just doing my head in.
It's not that intrusive, is it?
Well, it is. We've been out here all day. No one's been here, and then as soon as we turn up and start talking on a microphone.
They are.
Sorry about that.
So I think we went to Tenerife. We took our parents to Tenerife, didn't we?
As we like to call them, the kids. We call them the kids. Yeah.
we had to look after them. I mean, to be honest, we made the mistake. We stayed in sort of more rural Tenerife, if you will.
Yeah.
We should have gone to Playa de las Americas or Costa Adeque, where they'd have just been happy. All they wanted to do was go in shops and bars, and we kind of don't tend to buy into that kind of thing.
Tip number 2, really, though, because if you're going to go somewhere like Tenerife, everyone conjures up images of beaches and ice creams and sangria,
English breakfasts in Irish bars.
Well,
and
Tenerife is a big island, and the north of Tenerife is absolutely beautiful. No, didn't we do? Oh, I can't remember.
That was a year after 2018. I knew where you were.
Yeah. So what we'd done, we found this Airbnb, and it was for naught. It was 2 weeks.
It had a pool as well.
It had a pool. We researched the weather, and the weather was all right. Albeit, this is the warning: if you go to North Tenerife, you get more rain.
Yeah,
and you
more
get
cloud.
You get things like more tropical plants. So to get tropical plants, you need a lot of moisture. So bear that in mind. And it's quite blustery in January, but it's a beautiful place. The mountains are beautiful. We hired a 4x4 car, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
And we blooming needed it and all. I mean, the mountain passes around there are absolutely
hairy, blimey.
But stunning.
Yeah,
stunning.
Beautiful, utterly beautiful.
So we packed the parents up. They came with us, and they just. I don't think it was their cup of tea, really.
They wanted it busier, didn't they?
They wanted to go. They wanted English breakfasts, and it's horses for courses,
bars
isn't it?
and life, I suppose. And we tend to sort of steer ourselves away from that.
And go a bit more rural, and become, as I like to say, more travellers than tourists. That's it.
Absolutely.
There you go.
That's the one. But so after that, the next biggie, we went. It was March, your birthday, wasn't it?
We are building up to something here, by the way. We're just
there.
giving you the history. We don't want to just tell you everything and go bleh about us. But this is kind of small little baby steps to what hopefully will become our lives in the next 10 years, and that we will hopefully be sharing with you. Anyway, go on. The next big step.
Yeah, was the American trip. So we were going for Mark's birthday.
We need to talk about this in depth, really, because
it's quite a big story. So we'll just talk about America, actually.
Yeah, there is a video. I'll put a link on the video.
It's fairly well documented
on the podcast.
Actually,
it probably is.
Yeah.
And it was in the Sun. We were in the Sun, for goodness sake. We're in the Independent and lots of other newspapers. We'll talk about that another time, probably, because that's definitely another podcast. But we
loved it, didn't we?
We went to the southern states of America.
Yeah, what an eye opener.
Yeah, what an eye opener.
Fantastic.
And we did that. And it was so simple. I mean, it was really what we learned is that you can be as free as a bird in today's world, especially if you're going to first world countries like the United States or the EU. Is you can someone will have a room for you most days at 7:00 in the evening. You'll always find a hotel room generally, and when we travel, we don't travel in August generally, so you'll always find somewhere.
Yeah, and then we kind of did a mix where we'd stayed in some nice hotels, didn't we, in America, but we also stayed in some quite grubby hotels.
So we'll just tell the setup. The setup was, we got to Atlanta, we flew into Atlanta, and we got a hire car, and that was it, really. We knew that we was going to Knoxville, and we was going to Nashville, and we was going to Memphis, and then we was coming back round through Texas, back round through Louisiana and Alabama, and
slipped
then
into
back
Florida, didn't we, as well?
A bit of Florida. But we got this car, and we knew that we was going to do, everyone goes, oh, it's a long way, America is, everywhere's a long way. I didn't think it was, did you? I thought it was great. The roads are clear, the sky's generally blue, the alligators are big, but it's amazing. And what we did, go on.
Yeah, well, like I said before, we did a mixture of hotels, motels, but we also Airbnb. Did we do it 3 times?
Yeah, we did it.
Yeah,
Airbnb, which is a really good way to see a country, because
the advice you get off the locals, basically, isn't it?
Well, we did it first there, didn't we? We actually shared a room. We usually have the whole apartment because we like to have our own bathroom and stuff. But we found that if you're travelling like that and you're just doing one-nighters, to stay at someone's house, because as soon as you walk in, like for example when we went to New Orleans, the guy there,
he was lovely, wasn't he?
He just he lived there for 20 years. He knew everything about New Orleans. He knew probably what we want to see, probably what we didn't want to see. He told us places not to go to, you know.
Places to go.
It's fabulous. We went to Nashville and stayed with a lovely couple.
Oh, they were divine, weren't they?
Yes.
Oh, they were lovely. We
Yes.
went out for the evening, didn't we, into
Yes.
Nashville? And he was actually, was he Uber, a taxi driver?
Uber.
And he said, he took us in and he said, don't you be calling any cabs, you ring me and I will pick you up when you're ready to come home. It was ever so sweet, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'll
really
put some
lovely.
photographs up.
Yeah.
I'll definitely put photographs up during this video.
It just enhances the experience so much, doesn't it? You're really dabbing into the essence of it, really. The people who live there, their experiences.
Yeah, that's it.
And the
and the thing is, as well, is if you're on Airbnb, one is you're reviewed, and we're reviewed as well, so they get to see that we're all right, and vice versa. But also that thing, if lots of people have stayed there, then you know it's going to be all right, really, and it's going to be a good place to go. And if you've got an Airbnb, you've got to be a certain type of person that wants to open their house and let you in.
So you tend to come across extroverts who want to chat and want to engage with you, really, which is really good fun.
But everywhere we've been, they know when to leave you alone and
they do.
let you crack on.
Totally give you privacy, and they don't. And we've never felt intruded at all.
No.
I suppose they gauge it, and then when we respond, they realise that we want that interaction, don't they?
There you go. So if you get nothing from this video at all, please try Airbnb or anything similar, and try staying with in people's houses. And I know it sounds really alien. A good friend of your nephew, Andrew, he does a thing called couch surfing.
Yeah.
There's a website. I'll put it in the description.
I think you need a recommendation from that from somebody who's so obviously my nephew could do that, but
that's a similar kind of thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
that
it literally is
fun.
living on people's couches or the spare bedroom and stuff. But then I suppose being that kind of person where people have opened their life up and their home up, you've got to try to reciprocate. Oh, there you go. That's why we've got Foxy with us, the clever one. And open your home up. But I mean, we've never done that because I don't know why.
I don't know why.
Have we? I don't think we've got the room, have we, really? I suppose we could. Anyway, that's another conversation for another day. So this is really all about different ways to travel, but different ways to see the world, and to open your mind, to live your life in a different way, that you haven't got to just go away for 2 weeks in August. And that there are more things to see and more places to go and better experiences to have than what we are used to.
You have options. Yeah, you don't have to live in one place, stay, you can change on a monthly basis if you want. It's easy once you start doing it. It took us a while to build up to it, but
it has really. But the thing is it's all an experiment, isn't it?
Yeah,
and I think the thing we ask, which would be our catchphrase, is what's the worst thing that can happen to you?
What's the worst case scenario? We
worst
say that
case
all
scenario,
the time.
And if
death, prison.
Yeah, if it's death and prison, you know
Forget
what I mean. But if it's £100 fine or whatever, I mean, we'll come on to this in later videos. We've got loads of things to tell you about the adventures we've had. And we've not even scratched the surface yet. We've done absolutely nothing. And
we've got loads to do, haven't we?
We've got so much to do, but we've done so much already. So hopefully, subscribe to our channel, and we'll just keep you up to date. We'll keep you not just our channel on YouTube, but our channel if you want to listen to it on audio. We're recording this as well, so we can put this up as a podcast, so you can take it with you and listen to it on the tube train or on the the bus.
Flexibility.
The flexibility of the world today. But next time, what we're going to talk about next time?
I suppose we've gone up to we've done 2017, so I think we start with 2018, which was actually game changing for us, wasn't it?
But that was the other thing as well, though, is that when we went to America, we were talking about America, and we stopped at some motels, which always makes me laugh when we watch Schitt's Creek. Because they're motel, and we stayed in some motels, and we stayed in some great motels, and we stayed in some not so great motels. But let me just leave you this. The best stories come from the worst situations.
Definitely.
That's
the dog.
Yeah. And they do. I mean, we one night, I swear, I heard gunshots.
Oh,
we were
Texas,
in
weren't we? Yeah.
Definitely Texas.
Oh, it was terrifying, and I could hear doors. I could hear shouting and doors slamming, and
it was all right. Do you know what I mean? I didn't feel like someone was going to burst in and shoot us. But you never know, do you? I mean, it's America.
Fucking America, isn't it?
They kneel on people's necks.
Exactly.
But we never had a problem. We never had a problem.
No, we didn't. We just thoroughly enjoyed ourselves, didn't we?
Yes. In fact, leave them with the story of the karaoke.
Yeah.
Because that's probably one of my favourite. Well, lots and lots of stories of America. And are we still recording? I think we are. The best one ever, one of the best ones ever, was one day we were in Texas, and it was a Friday night, so we decided that we wanted to go out and have a drink. So we found this bar, drove to this bar, drink driving. There is no such thing as drink driving. So what's your hand on there? Look, she's shaking the camera. And we went into this bar, and Joe picks the books up for the karaoke.
So I'm going to do karaoke, yay!
Because she's like that, you know. If you've heard Joanne sing, you're a lucky person. Anyway, so she's looking through the books, and the guy that's doing karaoke is thinking, oh, great, we've got this really sexy English woman who's going to come and do some, you know, obviously she's going to be really, really good. It's going to be like Adele, or, you know, it's going to be whatever. And she's going, what were you asking for?
I wanted the Pretenders.
The Pretenders. So we're in the middle of Texas. They've probably never heard of the Pretenders, you know. Have you got brass in pocket? Yeah, sure have, mister.
Oh, my
word. Anyway, so she's going through, and everything that she's asking.
I didn't know anything. It was all country and west.
Of course it was. But in the meantime, this guy who's running the karaoke keeps buying us beers, because he thinks that we're going to do a turn. She's going to do half an hour or something. You know what I mean? Maybe take a top off. Anyway, so all these beers are turning up, and I'm thinking, oh no, this is going to be embarrassing now. This is because we're going to have to walk out without a song being sung.
And he's bought us loads of beers.
And he's bought us loads of beers, and I was going, no. And he was going, no, I insist, I'm buying you a beer, sir.
I'm going, I don't fancy any of this. I'm not singing anything.
Yeah, and I'm embarrassed, so I have to start looking through. You know, the actual talent starts looking through.
Hey, what I lack in talent and more than make up for in enthusiasm.
I know, but enthusiasm wouldn't have paid for all them beers he bought us, would it?
I don't know about that, actually.
So anywho, look through, and you can always find a Frank Sinatra. So I did a Frank Sinatra medley, and then we said our goodbyes and legged it quickly.
Back to the motel.
Yeah, back to the motel. Get your hand off there, look, you keep shaking the camera.
Sorry.
It's all right.
It's habit.
So that's it this week. That's the start of our journey, I think, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
And there's lots more to come. So do subscribe and do tell your friends. You can share it on social media and all that. There'll probably be some links here. Then there'll be some links here, and all over the place on the screen and on the recording. And next week we'll start telling you about
the next step. Yeah.
Or maybe not. Maybe we'll talk about names. Who knows? Hope you've enjoyed that, and we'll see you next time. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye. I hope it's working.